Hi, welcome to the poster session for ISTE. I have a 3D printer now. What? My name is Andy Mann, and I'm going to show you some of the highlights of things you'll learn in my session. We'll look at resources that you can get for free, like the MakerBot Educator's Guidebook, a 200-page book with more than 9 different projects. It is not MakerBot specific. There are a few pages, but it's a great resource. You can download it as a PDF and print it out. We're going to look at the Print Lab. They have resources, a 60-page printing guide for teachers, and they also have projects for your students, a course on designing 3D printing in CAD, and I especially love the Assistive Technology Device Academy and the pandemic products. They do have some products that have a fee, but still, this is a great way to get started with some of these kind of lessons and resources. We're going to look at Tinkerin. Tinkerin has a free course that you can take. The only fee they charge is if you take the test and want a certification. It's a very, very good, detailed course that teaches all sorts of things about 3D printing and about different types of 3D printing and scanning 3D and things like that. Really well done. And this great website also has starter challenges to help your students get started with projects. They have a beginner level, like personal name tags and cookie cutters. Then they have intermediate level, such as designing a launching device or something that flies or a chocolate mold. So that's great, and advanced too. We're going to even look at challenges. This is 3D printer challenges for students from another website, beginner level challenges and advanced and expert challenges. And of course, nothing would be complete without talking about Tinkercad and some of the great ways to help introduce Tinkercad to your students. All of these different project ideas here, and they have step-by-step guides and things like that. We also are going to dig into Thingiverse, a great way to help your kids get started before they do things like Tinkercad, where they can use a customizer and create a custom little name tag like this that they can take home and say, Mom and Dad, look, I printed this. I designed it and printed it myself. We're also going to take a look at the Snowflake Machine. The Snowflake Machine is by Math Girl, especially popular right now inside of around Christmas, because you can get filament that's glow in the dark, and you can open up the customizer. You can adjust the sizes, the type of snowflake you make. You can add a loop to it, and voila, you now have a one-of-a-kind Christmas ornament. And because they're not very tall, they print relatively fast on 3D printers. We're also going to talk about a terrain maker. This is a program that will create STL files of terrain. Like here is Mount St. Helens, and you can go anywhere you want on the planet. That you can generate a terrain map and then print it out and talk about terrain and actually feel it. I love that. We're also going to talk about a project where students design their own bubble wand to help solve a problem. And there's a great challenge out there and a PDF guide and videos and all these kinds of things. And it's to help solve a problem that someone is babysitting and they want their own custom bubble wand because they don't have a bubble wand and they need to design and print one. And it helps you through that whole process. Then we're going to wrap up by learning about SculptFab. There's an artist named Henry Moore, and he would do sculptures like this. And there's a website that's called SculptFab, where you can change the color. You can now design almost like a piece of clay. I have my students design their faces, or they design something that looks more like a Henry Moore sculpture. Then you can rotate this around, and you can, add pieces to it. There's objects that push in, that mold. You have all these tools over here you can use, and then you can save this as an STL file that your students can then 3D print. So all these things you'll get to learn in the poster session. I hope you come and join me.